Hello and welcome to Into the 99, where we have 99 cards because Commander is number 1. Today I'm joined with Lotus. I am Daniel, and we're going to get into a great deck tech. Lotus made this one. It's super fun. First and foremost, Lotus, how are you doing this weekend?
I'm doing fantastic, especially after absolutely annihilating everyone at Modern F&M with squirrels.
Yeah, Lotus did go ham with them. She beat the Amulet Titan and the Ad Nauseam decks. It was pretty good.
Yep, and Jund. It was great fun.
Modern isn't ready for squirrels, apparently.
No.
But
I liked squirrels before it was cool.
We're not here to talk about squirrels today. Tell them what this deck is about.
Okay, so there was a legendary creature from Modern Horizons 2 that was very overlooked and pushed aside. General Ferrous Rokiric. I think the name puts people off because you can't say it.
Ferrous Rokiric.
Yeah. 1 red-white for a 3/1 human soldier with hexproof from monocolored, and whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a 4/4 red and white golem artifact creature token.
I honestly did overlook it entirely. It's a 3-mana boros commander. It's a soldier, and I love soldier as a tribe. Like, I don't know why I didn't see it. I think Modern Horizons 2 just had too much in it, to be honest.
There was so many good cards, and to be honest, Boros doesn't get much love as it is, let alone just a 3-mana 3/1 that's got a silly ability on it.
Hexproof for monocolored is also pretty good. There is a lot of monocolored beaters in the deck, or in Commander games in general.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, I love the flavor text on this. The Boros Legion always stands for justice, but it never stands alone. Oh man, that hypes me up to see what the deck is about. I personally do love Boros just in general.
Yeah, and this is definitely Boros. Most of the cards are around the commander, just to get that trigger.
Well, you have a commander that generates 4/4 tokens. That is a strong ability.
Yeah.
And can't be, I didn't even think about it, but it can't be like Doombladed, it can't be Path to Exiled, can't be unsummoned.
No Path to Exile, no Swords to Plowshare.
Yeah, you need like a Vindicate to destroy this. So not only can it get around a lot of blockers or monocolor blockers, a lot of tribal things like Merfolk have a lot of mono blue things. It's a good card. It's a really good card.
Yeah. It's surprisingly good when you actually look at it deeply.
Pretty hard to kill. I don't, like I said, you're not going to remove it with single target removal like you normally would rely on for a problem card.
Yeah. The only downside is it's a 3/1, so...
But still, the protection from monocolored, like, as long as someone, you don't swing it out at things, but you can block, the ability to just block even like small death touchers, any mono black vampires that you're facing. There's a ton of like the squirrel tribal stuff right now.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that this is actually a really cool commander.
I think he's more protected with his 4/4 army.
Yeah, that gets pretty big pretty quickly, pretty out of hand, I can imagine.
Just a little bit. I'm in the process of paper building it. I'm about 4 cards off, but the interactions that I've built and can see, I feel like it's going to be a problem.
It looks like a really fun deck from just the quick glance that I went over it, but let's get into. So obviously we know that it's a token generating card. We're going to start with the enchantments at the moment. You
want to start with enchantments.
And I'm going to take the first one because it's such a good card, and there's no way to not put it in a deck like this. It's Anointed Procession. 3 and a white, so it comes out the turn right after you cast your commander. If an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many instead. That is a lot. So basically any multicolor card you cast is going to trigger 4 golems. Ugh.
Well, 2.
2 4/4s, yeah.
Yeah, 2 4/4s.
2 4/4s. Math's hard for me.
Math is hard. That's why you play Boros.
That is why I play Boros, exactly. If math is hard, this is the deck for you.
So the next one that I've put in was Assemble the Legion, 3 red, white. So a multicolored card, so you get that 4/4. But also at the beginning of your upkeep, put a muster counter on Assemble the Legion. Then put a 1/1 red and white soldier creature token with haste onto the battlefield for each muster counter on Assemble the Legion.
It can get out of control quick.
Yeah, building an army of 1/1s and 4/4s simultaneously.
Yeah, You have Gleam of Battle. Whenever a creature you control attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it, and that is going to be very good for your commander.
Oh god, yeah. And being Boros again, 4 red, white, you make a 4/4.
Yeah, I think we counted it something, I can't remember the exact number, but it is like 40 cards at least will trigger that ability.
48, I think it
48, yeah, there's a lot. You will trigger a lot of golems with this deck. We have land tax because obviously white needs all the ramp that it can get in a deck like this. Yeah. Boros has some big costs. What can I say? It's an expensive army to run.
It is.
For anyone who doesn't know land tax, beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent controls more lands than you, you can search your library for 3 basic lands, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. Great card to just thin your deck out as well.
Yeah, I'm also running Archaeomancer's Map, which we'll get to later.
That's a great card.
So if we're playing against anyone that's ramping harder than us, we can keep up.
You also have Legion's Initiative, and I really, really like that card. Number one, I love Niv Mizzet in any artwork. But we've got the red and the white enchantment. Red creatures you control get 1/0, white get 0/1, and then pay 1 red, 1 white, exile it, exile all creatures you control at the beginning of the next combat, return them to the battlefield under owner's control, and those creatures gain haste. Very Boros.
Yeah, we might lose the tokens, but there's so many creatures in here other than them that it's just a
temporary setback.
Yeah, it's a Teferi's protection for your creatures, but advertising it.
The other thing too is I don't know what kind of board wipes you're running, but you can still board wipe and then blink your creatures out and have them come back at combat, and that's scary.
Yeah.
That's
ready
rough.
to go.
Yeah. Boros doesn't play games.
We're then running Outlaw's Merriment, 1 red, white, white enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose one at random. Create a red and white creature token with one of these characteristics. A 3/1 human warrior with trample and haste. A 2/1 human cleric with lifelink and haste. A 1/2 human rogue with haste. And when this creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target.
I like all of those options.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You're running a ton of token stuff. We've got Smothering Tide as well. 3 and a white. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player can pay 2. If they don't, you create a colorless treasure. I never pay it. You guys can always have the treasure. I'm friends with the table. Let the Boros have their riches.
Need to fund our army.
Yeah, with Anointed Procession out, that can be a real problem. What section do you want to go to next?
Well, should we go to... let's go to creatures next, because I wanted to say that obviously with that other card that we're going to lose our tokens to Legion's Initiative, but here's the creatures that we get to keep.
Okay.
And the first one is Agrus Kos, Wojek Veteran. It's a mouthful. 3 red, white for a 3/3 human soldier. When this attacks, attacking red creatures get +2/+0, and attacking white creatures get 0/2 until end of turn.
Like you said earlier, your commander having 1 toughness is rough.
Yeah.
It's a good
But
buff.
also, the tokens that the commander makes are both red and white.
So 2/2 on attack, that's good.
Yeah.
Huge golems. I'm hoping there's some other cards in here. I won't spoil them, but there's some other ones that I'm already seeing that I think would be lovely in here. Okay. The next one I really like, Aurelia. Just in general, a Boros staple. Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice. 2, 1 red, 1 white for a 2/5 flying angel with Mentor. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to 1 target creature you control until the end of turn. That creature gets 2/0 and gains trample if it's red and vigilance if it's white. Love it.
Yeah, and we're pretty much going to get both abilities on pretty much anything we do.
Yeah, the next Aurelia you can take, but
a
little stronger.
Aurelia the War Leader, 2 red, red, white, white, 3/4 angel, flying vigilance, haste. When Aurelia attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase.
Yeah, that Aurelia slaps.
Yeah. And if we've got enough 4/4 golems, can be devastating.
Aurelia by herself is already pretty strong. Like, the flying vigilance haste ability in 2 combats alone is good. Any creatures on the board is just better.
Yeah.
I do really like the Balefire Liege. I like all of the Liege cycles in general. It's 2 and then it's hybrid, so you can pay red or white 3 times. It's a Spirit Horror 2/4. Other red creatures get 1/1. Other white creatures get 1/1. Whenever you play a red spell, 3 damage to target player. Whenever you play a white spell, 3 life. That's really, really good, especially in a deck running 48-ish red-white spells. You've got cards that are going to get 2/2. Your commander's getting 2/2. You have a lightning bolt on cast and a life gain on cast. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to lightning helix anything.
I really, really like that. I actually don't know this card.
This one's from Strixhaven. So
like
Blade Historian, 4 mana. Each one is hybrid boros. It's a 2/3 human cleric. Attacking creatures you control have double strike.
That's good. That's really good.
That's just nuts.
Yeah, that is very strong. Attacking creatures you control have double strike is rough.
Yep, 4/4 double striking golems.
At 4 mana as well. 4 hybrid mana that's not a hard thing to get out at all.
Not at all.
I really like that. Like I said, it's so easy to just glaze over some of the rares. Even when we do the spoilers, we don't get through all the rares every time, right?
Yeah, and if you do, you sort of gloss over half of them.
Yeah, so like that, I'm going to pick some of those up. I do really, really like this one. Zach would like something like this, the Boros Reckoner. It's, again, hybrid, so red, white, red, white, red, white. A Minotaur Wizard. Whenever it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target, and it gains first strike. It's a 3/3. Zach lives for the Brash Taunter-esque effects.
Yeah, I was going to put a Brash Taunter in here, but Boros Reckoner just fills both roles very well.
Yeah, and it's Boros. Boros is where it's at. I love Boros.
Yeah. The next one I put in for a giggle. Brian's Stout Arm, 2 red, white, with lifelink, 4/4 Giant Warrior. Pay a red tap, sacrifice another creature. Brian's Stout Arm deals damage to the sacrificed creature's power to target player.
I love the Fling King.
I mean, what else are you going to do with the golems?
Well, yeah, you have so many golems. Just the ability to hurl 4/4s at things is great.
Yeah.
And at lifelinks, which is nice.
Yeah. I mean, it could be used to remove creatures. It could, just direct damage people.
It seems like you have a lot of ways to gain life in a deck like this, too. I really, really like this next one. It's so weird. The Duragar Hedge Maze. 2 and then hybrid again, so will trigger your commander. It's a Dwarf Shaman, 2/2. When it comes into play, if you control 2 or more mountains, you may destroy target artifact, which is amazing. And when it comes into play, if you control 2 or more planes, you may destroy target enchantment. This is great removal built into a great card. It's not run enough in general.
Yep.
But what an awesome way to, think about it. You trigger the commander, so you get a 4/4 golem, artifact, and enchantment removal on a 2/2 body for 3 mana is great. It's a phenomenal card.
I was trying to think, because I was going to, run things like Disenchant or something. I thought, no, let's put it on a body. This seems just as good.
Oh, yeah. I'd be putting a lot of stuff to blink these. The next one, I did not pull any of, and I cracked a lot of packs. Esper Sentinel, the human soldier, weird new Ristic Study-esque in white, so it's really restrained. Yeah, Esper Sentinel, anyways. Artifact creature, a human soldier 1/1. Whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, draw a card unless they pay X, where X is its power. It's a pretty solid card. It's a soldier, it fits the theme. It's a nice 1-drop, it gives you some draw. What's wrong with it?
I mean, it's a white card, so we're potentially going to buff it. It's an artifact, so we may be able to buff it that way and get some more card draw.
Yeah.
Then we've got Firemane Angel, 3 red, white, white, flying, first strike, 4/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Firemane Angel is in your graveyard or on the battlefield, you may gain 1 life. Pay 6 red, red, white, white, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield, but activate only during your upkeep.
10 is a rough mana cost to get back like that, but it triggers your commander, and in the graveyard, it's still a good card.
Yeah, even if it's just milled or it just dies, it's just incidental 1 life each turn.
Yeah. Anyone who's played against a Loro knows how much that life adds up every turn.
Yep.
I love the artwork on this next one. Firemane Avenger, 2 red-white for a flying angel with battalion. When it and at least 2 other creatures attack, 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. It's a great card on a 4 cost.
Yeah, it's not bad. It removes a problematic smaller creature, or if a creature is, for example, 7 defense, and you swing a 4/4 golem, you can sort of even the odds.
Yeah, hey, block it if you want, but it's going to hurt.
You're not going to... Yeah.
I'll let you take this next one. I've never seen this card.
Yep. Flameright. It's a 1 red, 1 white for a human artificer 1/1. Pay 1 and tap it. Put a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token with Defender on the battlefield. Tap and sacrifice a creature with Defender. It deals 1 damage to target creature or player, which I believe is now any target.
Yep. I think everything that was target creature or player is errata to any target.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I'm going with it.
Yeah. It just makes more golems.
I wish the next card was available in foil. I really hope it gets another printing. Gerard Weatherlight Hero, 2, 1 red, 1 white. Legendary Soldier. First strike, when it dies, exile it and return to the battlefield all artifact and creature cards in your graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn. I love this card, and it was the first card they made to function how Commander always should have functioned before the Rules Committee changed it to how Commander functions now. That your commander actually dies before the command zone.
Yeah.
Weird replacement effects. It
was odd to see it happen, but a lot of people were playing it that way before it was changed.
Yeah. Alenda's so fun. I got to do a deck tag on that. That's a really fun deck.
I played against it the other day. It's rough.
Alenda is great. Ooh, the next card. You take the next card, but ooh.
I can never pronounce the first name. Blade of Gold Knight. Gisela. Blade of Gold Knight. Yes, I know magic. 4 red, white for a 5/5 flying first striking angel. If a source would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent opponent controls, that source deals double that damage to that player or permanent instead. And if a source would deal damage to us, it prevent half of it.
Gisela is such a good card.
Well, yeah, because if our opponent attacks our opponent, it's doubled.
Yep. Well, and basically this nullifies token decks. You can swing out with me with all the 1/1s you want. Half of it rounded up is 1.
Yeah.
I'll prevent 1 all day. I really, really like that card. Gisela's so fun. I played against a very, very annoying version of Gisela a lot when I first got back into Commander. That was one of my brother's decks. He put together just basically like mana barbs, all those kind of things you can think of effects into Gisela, like Zozu the Punisher kind of, and it just really, really, it was a fast game, I'll tell you that.
The only time I've really been punished by a Gisela is when someone was playing it in a deck that was Hitjutsu. When it taps, everyone loses half their life.
Oh, I bet that was fun.
That was rough.
Yeah. And I will kill.
Pretty much.
That would be a fun one. Hope that you have a odd life total. Hero of Precinct 1 kind of is our commander toned down.
Yeah.
1 and a white for a 2/2 human warrior. Whenever you cast a multicolored creature, create a 1/1 white human creature token. A lot of token support in this deck. I really, really like it.
I'd like to think that when this is him before he became general.
Could be. I like it.
If anyone knows, just let us know. I'd like that kind of lore, because there's that goblin that raised for the ranks and became, was it Legion Loyalist? I can't remember the 3 goblins, but there's a goblin.
Yeah, they progressed through the...
Yeah, I thought that was amazing.
I love all the boros stuff. It's so good. Speaking of the boros stuff, Erois, God of Victory. 2 red-white for a 7/4. That is big. Legendary creature enchantment god. Indestructible. As long as your devotion to red and white is less than 7, he's not a creature. Thankfully. Problem is, you have all these hybrid ones and they count twice. Yep. That's a big problem. Creatures you control have menace. Huge problem in this deck. And prevent all damage to be dealt to attacking creatures you control. Again, huge problem in this deck.
Yeah, he's going to be a problem for anyone we're facing.
Erois is amazing. I love Erois. I love boros. Every time we talk cards that have white or like boros stuff, I just find myself being like, I love this card. White's a good color. Grow up.
It is. White. I don't know why people hate it so much. White has so many good uses.
White is a blast to play, and it's easy to just try and politics the table. But like, come on, man, I'm playing white. Don't kill me.
Yeah. What am I going to do?
Have mercy to my Armageddon.
Yes, or my counter spells.
Yeah. I love Lapse of Certainty.
Lapse of Certainty, yeah.
I need an I love it jar
because a few times.
It's the same. I need an I love it jar because the next card is one of my favorite cards printed this year.
Keeper of the Accord.
Yep.
Yeah. Go for it.
It's so good. It's a human soldier. Again, I love soldiers as a tribe. 3 and a white for a human soldier. 3/4. The beginning of each opponent's end step. Amazing if they control more creatures than you. Create a 1/1 soldier. Great trigger. Beginning of each opponent's end step. You can search your library for basic planes, put on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. This is so easy to catch up. You're playing against a table of green decks. You get three lands around on your untap. I love it. Go from 4 mana to 7. Hell yes.
Yeah. Green ramping us as well.
I love it. Ooh, you explained why this card was so good earlier.
Oh, yes. So, Lochiel Clockwork Scholar, 2 and a white for a 2/4 Elephant Artificer. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking artifact creatures you control. That's already amazing. Mm-hmm. However, its second ability, whenever one or more artifact creatures enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. It only triggers once each turn. That's each turn.
That is true. Anything that if you have any multicolored instants, like you said earlier, like a Lightning Helix or something, you trigger Lochiel on their turn. Just, again, really utilizing the commander. A lot of these cards, so many decks have a commander that's like for flavor or like for color, but I really, really like when a deck is centered around its mechanics specifically. I find them more fun to play and play against.
Yeah. And I definitely tried to follow that mechanic all the way through.
Yeah, like obviously I'm a fan of tribal decks. I'm a fan of basically every deck. But I just really like when people go on the theme of what a commander's going for instead of just like, hey, these are merfolk. I'm playing merfolk. Hey, these are elves, so of course it has Priest of Titania. Like, going through this list, you've really thought out the interactions of like how his ability interacts, how you can get it to trigger, how you can benefit the most from it. I'm very, very proud of this deck is the best way to put it. I really like it so far. I'm probably going to build it.
Well, I hope so.
I love Boros so much.
It was amazing to build. I spent a few days, a few hours each day researching Scryfall and Gatherer just to try and work out what would work with the commander's ability.
I just think it's really cool. I like the next card too. I like all of these guild mages. I'll let you take it, please.
Sunhome Guild Mage, red and a white for a 2/2 human wizard. 1 red-white creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. 2 red-white, put a 1/1 red and white soldier creature token with haste onto the battlefield.
Mana sinks are amazing. Love it. Can't say it enough. Mana sinks are amazing, especially if you're playing against a draw deck and you have a ton of Smothering Ties tokens out. Having that ability there is great. Having a creature token ability, great. I love it. Love everything about it. No tapping needed in Boros. That's not what this is about.
Nope.
That's a little higher IQ than Boros plays. Yeah.
Go on.
We have Swath Cutter Giant. We've got 4, 1 red, 1 white. Again, triggering our commander. A giant soldier. Love the tribe. 5/5 vigilance. When it attacks, deals 1 damage to each creature defending player controls. Goodbye, Scoot Swarms.
Yep. Any tokens that are 1/1s, just get them out my way.
Goodbye, Scoot Swarms. Goodbye, Pest tokens.
And if we've got Gisela, it's 2 damage.
Yeah, that's a lot. I play a lot of token decks. A lot of 1/1 tokens. Let me tell you, that's not good.
I know.
Rest in peace. That and Rakdos Charm. At least you're not in Rakdos.
True. Next one, just a human soldier, Swift Blade Vindicator. It's a red and a white for a 1/1 with double strike, vigilance, and trample.
It's a great card to buff.
Yeah. Especially when we've got Mentor and all the +1/+0s.
I also really like Tajic. It's one of my favorite foilings. It really, really pops in foil. Tajic Legion's Edge, 1 red, 1 white. I say that a lot this time. Human Soldier with haste, 3/2, and Mentor, and prevent all non-combat damage that's dealt to other creatures you control. So you can blast from this active board all day. And for Boros, he gains first strike until end of turn.
He's a great card.
I love it. That was one of my old Boros deck commanders. They really have been pumping out good commanders for Boros lately.
They have. Though I've got a bit of reputation with this particular card when it came out in Standard. Went to the pre-release kit and pulled this as my foil rare in the
Tajic?
pack. Yeah, he was my promo rare.
I love Tajic.
Then I pulled a non-foil and a foil.
So you were really going off with Tajic that game.
Yeah, I had 3. It was disgusting.
That's a problem. Another card I haven't seen before. Thunder. Thunder Song Trumpeter. 1 red, 1 white for a human soldier. Again, I love the soldier tribe. 2 and a 1. Target creature can't attack or block this turn for a tap, which is very strong and can ruin any Voltron deck.
Yeah. Or, you've got a Blightsteel Colossus. Nah.
Yeah, Blightsteel is a real problem. Or just anything. Like if you have... I know we can't play Primeval Titan, wink, wink. But if you were playing against someone who happens to play Primeval Titan and they want to get their lands and you're like, no. Yeah, that's unban the card. This what is it, 25-cent uncommon? That can stop your Prime Titan. Come on.
Yeah.
Cowards.
Well, the other thing is, what's the other card? 100-handed one that can block any number of creatures.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, can't block anything.
Honestly, can't attack or block is a very, very strong political tool.
Yeah.
Especially if you have menace on your creatures, that's rough.
The other thing I was putting it in here for is I've been playing against a lot of people that play Goad. So if someone goads my commander, I just want to go, nah.
Nah, he can't attack. He's sleeping.
Yeah.
He's resting.
He's got better things to do.
It's not for him today. Sorry, next turn. I'm actually looking at building a Goad deck right now. It looks really fun.
I'm glad I'm putting this in there then.
Yeah. True Fire Captain is another really cool card. Double red, double white for a 4/3 human knight. Whenever it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target player. So a very, very threatening blocker.
Yes, very. And especially with Gisela out.
The ability also to swing out with it, as well as if you block it, you face losing a creature, but also taking 4 damage is pretty rough.
Well, you're going to take 4 damage regardless.
Yeah.
Well, not it. No, whatever blocks it, really.
It's taking 4, then the player is taking 4. A lot of these things can really whittle people's lives down pretty quickly, but it also has that Mentor ability, so it can make your commander bigger. But Mentor doesn't just trigger. It can still trigger on itself if it's the weakest creature. So you possibly are swinging with a 5/4 and so on and so forth.
It has to be weaker than it.
With lesser power. Oh, lesser power than it. Okay.
Yeah. Sadly.
On target attacking creature with... I guess it can't have less power. Well, I don't know the rules. Boo-hoo.
I mean, we got the 1/1s.
That's true. Another card I did not see from Strixhaven. You read this one.
Yeah. Venerable Warsinger. 1 red, white for a 3/3 spirit cleric with vigilance and trample. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may return target creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of damage this card dealt to the player.
That's pretty cool.
Bit of recursion.
I like that a lot, actually.
And as our commander is 3 CMC, if it dies, we can bring it straight back if we want it to go to the grave.
I just started looking at artifacts, and you are missing my favorite artifact.
I'm sorry.
Helm of the Host.
I was going to put it in, but...
Golem Army.
I use it a lot, and I try to use cards that I don't generally put in.
That's fair. My disclaimer, put Helm of the Host in this deck, for sure. So good. I'll let you start through them. We've got Arcane Signet, obviously. I'm not going to read that one, but you go ahead.
Yeah, so we have Arcane Signet. We have no Soul Ring because everything's 2-color mana, and I think it's too much of a problem.
Fair.
But Archaeomancer's Map is the one that goes with land tax. 2 and a white for an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for up to 2 basic plain cards, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, if that player controls more lands than you, you may put a land from your hand into the battlefield.
Love it. I think that's just a really good card. They really, really did go all out with the new good white cards. What is this artwork? Oh, it's the Secret Lair dogs.
Oh, yeah. I managed to pick one up. It's so adorable.
I love those. Lightning Greaves. We've got 2 equipped creature has haste and shroud, 0 equip.
Yeah. I mean, I know we're protection from multicolor, but yeah, a little extra protection never hurts.
Never hurts. We also have the Zoom boots. For 2 equipped creature has hexproof, haste, equip 1.
What can I say? What girl doesn't like shoes?
Yeah, exactly. It's built in, right?
Yeah.
I love all the talismans too. The Talisman of Conviction for Mana Rock.
Everyone's been using the signets, and I'm very against signets at the moment. I don't like the
signets. Unless you have a deck that is super mana thirsty, or like maybe, you're playing something like an Amanatu kind of deck, you don't have a ton of ramp, you need to color fix a little. Sure, but I still prefer the talismans overall because I think they're a little safer. I'm willing to take 1 damage in Commander. That's no problem.
Well, you can tap it for a colorless and not receive any damage.
But that's what I mean, right? If I need it, 1 damage, nothing. I'll go to 39.
I know it's a very fringe case, but if someone Armageddons, you can't tap your signets.
Oh, yeah, I actually didn't think about that.
But you can still tap these.
I like the talismans and the lockets. I just like them more. They're my favorite mana rocks.
Yeah.
Outside of like Mana Crypt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I understand who I am as a person. I really like your inclusion of the next card. I'll let you read that one.
Tome of the Guild Pact, 5 mana for an artifact. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, draw a card, and it taps for 1 mana of any color.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. I love that.
Yeah, with 48 spells that trigger this.
This next one, too, I've also never seen played a single time, and it's a very, very cool card.
Yeah, Urza's Filter. 4 mana for an artifact. Multicolored spells cost up to 2 less to play.
Yeah, I really, really like that. And in this deck, you're trying to play it so you can get a lot of those beaters out for 1 mana.
It also stops 1 round of command attacks.
Yeah, that is true. You also have a lot of really good instants and sorceries.
Which one do you want to do first?
Let's do sorceries. There's less of them.
Fair.
I'll start the first one because it's crazy. I love Bright Flame. It's X, double red, double white. Radiance. Bright Flame deals X damage to target creature and each other creature that shares a color with it. You gain life equal to damage this way. Firesong and Sunspeaker, all-star card.
Yeah. Someone playing elf tokens, just end them.
Well, even if X is 2, you can board wipe like a table of green.
Yeah, and gain so much life.
Yeah. It's very hard to come back from a good Bright Flame, especially if they have a lot of mana to dump into it. It's rough.
Yeah.
I really like Bright Flame. The artwork's so good. The cards were so good. Razia, let the pyres of the unbelievers light our way. It is the boros.
It's just true Legion.
Yeah. I'll let you continue with our list here.
So, Deafening Clarion, 1 red, white, and you get to choose one or both of these options. It deals 3 damage to each creature. All creatures you control gain lifelink to end of turn.
I like it. I like the mode options. You have a little bit of a board wipe. You also can just lifelink the table.
Yeah, swinging in with 4/4 lifelinkers.
I could see that you could get a ton of life in this deck. Like, I bet you can pretty easily hit 400 life.
The other thing that I chose Deafening Clarion, because I know it's a subpar card to some, is it deals 3 damage to each creature. Our golems are 4/4s.
Yeah, so it's not wiping your huge creatures out.
Yeah, it kind of does a little bit of... it's a safe wipe.
I also like Heroic Reinforcements. 2 red-white, create 2 white soldiers. Till end of turn, creatures you control get 1/1 in haste. That is a really, really... because it is going to trigger a golem as well.
Yeah.
So that is a lot. You've got a 5/5 golem, you've got 2 1/1s, so you have 9 damage on deck from that card if your commander's out alone. It can definitely do a lot of work.
And if you got Anointed Procession, it's 2 golems and 4 soldiers.
Yeah, then it's real damage. Then it's like, what, 18?
Well, +1/+1 and haste on their turn, so...
Yeah, so you got
4, 8, plus another 10, yeah?
18. Quick math, yeah. I can't read cards, but I can do quick math. I also really, really liked this card from Strixhaven. This one was a phenomenal just recursion in the color, and you didn't get that. Lorehold really brought something new to the Boros colors.
Yeah.
The Reconstruct History, 2 and Boros. 2 and Lorehold? No, it's Boros, come on. Return up to 1 target artifact, 1 target enchantment, instant, sorcery, and or planeswalker. It's so good. You don't get a creature, right? That's okay. That's okay.
No, artifact, enchantment, instant, sorcery, planeswalker.
That's it. That's all. It's a lot.
You can get your board wipe back.
Yeah, you can. You can get a lot back. I really like Reconstruct History. And I would put Basri Ket in this deck because I'm an animal.
I was playing with planeswalkers. I was also going to put the Ajani in there.
Vengeant?
The one that... the disgusting one that blows
Ajani
up.
Vengeant, yep. I'm well aware. I know exactly what Ajani you're talking about, correct?
Yes, that one was going to be in this deck, but I kind of scaled it back a bit.
That Johnny's a problem.
It is. I might put it back in.
I'm just saying, it's boros would burn the land.
Yeah. The next one is a kind of board wipe because most creatures' power and toughnesses are the same, but Solar Blaze, 2 and Boros, each creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. I just think it's better Blasphemous Act because, okay, it's going to cost 3 more generally, but if you've got a creature that's 100, it's going to kill itself.
Yep. I also really, really like the flavor text on it. I've always loved this one. The primary weapon is nothing more than light. It shows them what they are, and they burn of their own accord. Aurelia. Ooh. Man, Boros is good.
Yep.
That is the Sun Home. I really, really like that. Aurelia's Fury as well as the next card. Can't get enough Aurelia. X, 1 red, 1 white. Aurelia's Fury deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or players. Tap each creature dealt damage this way. Players dealt damage this way can't cast non-creature spells this turn. A great instant.
Yep. In someone's upkeep, ping them for 1.
Yep.
They can do nothing.
Well, or if you're going to win, just, put 3 mana into it so no one can even stop you from going off, and
yeah,
they're forced to try counter this or die.
Yeah, counter this or not.
Boros Charm, again, a great card. Obviously, it's just Boros colors. Choose 1 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. Permanents you control gain indestructible until end of turn, or target creature gains double strike. I love all the modes.
Yeah.
Generally,
mainly
it's to save your permanents.
Yeah, permanents gain indestructible.
I'm just saying Boros Charm Armageddon, Borogeddon.
Borogeddon. Then we have a Deflecting Palm. Just 1 red, 1 white. Next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent it. If the damage is prevented this way, deal that much damage to that source's controller.
It is hurtful to swing at someone with a big commander, or again, a Blight Steel Colossus, have it prevented, and then have 11 damage hitting me in the face. Don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Double Cleave, another great card. Target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Double strike really hits. You're going to have 4/4s on the board, so slapping people for 8 damage is a lot of damage.
Yeah, and a multicolored spell that's going to create another 4/4.
Yeah, it does a lot.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I did have to put in a monocolored spell, Flawless Maneuver, just because this card's too good not to.
How do you not? Yeah.
Like, creatures you control gain indestructible, and if we control our commander, it's a free spell.
Mm-hmm. It's a good card. It's a really good card. I honestly think that whole cycle was too strong, too good.
It was I genuinely think it was a mistake, but I'm glad they did it.
Yeah, the green one. Oh, you get a fog. Yeah, that one's not the best one. But yeah, like the counter spell is obviously a problem from Timeless Wisdom. Even Otrimi's Royal, like the black exile a creature.
Yeah.
They put some really, really strong cards into that. They really did.
Even the red one's pretty good. Deflecting Swat.
Deflecting Swat. Hate it. Hate that card. I try and Blue Sun Zenith for 18. Brian deflecting swats it to himself. What kind of monster? Yeah.
It's also great as a counter spell. Counter.
Yeah. I hate that card. Hate it so much. Hate it so much. Foundry Helix, I don't hate. It is 1 Boros as an additional cost, sack a permanent, which you have a lot of. 4 damage to any target. If the sack permanent was an artifact, you gain 4 life. Steel never forgets the strike of the forge. Love it.
So, yes, we sack a permanent, but if we sack a golem, it triggers both parts of the spell, and it replaces itself.
Yep, I love it. Generous Gifts, also love it. One of the best removal spells they've printed in a while. It's the 2 and the white, destroy target permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 green elephant creature token, and people really do not run enough target permanent destruction, because you need to get rid of some lands. Sometimes, lands are a problem.
Yeah, that's the real reason this is in here, is because sometimes a Field of the Dead just has to go.
Last night I was playing Galazeth out at our LGS, which is open again, by the way. So fun to get back out. If you can support your LGS, get out and play. As safe as you can, obviously. Do what's comfortable for you and your health. But man, I had a lot of fun playing last night. And somebody did actually, they were packing a Field of Ruin because I got the Storm the Vault land flipped in my Galazeth when I had like 25 tokens, and that was a lot of treasures. That was a big land. It did not make it around the board a full turn. Rightfully so.
And yeah, rightfully so.
I understand what I was doing. There was no grudge held. I did Comet Storm him with all of that mana. That's
Ew.
who can say why I did it, but I did hit his field real hard, but it was the right play.
And you wonder why we play land hate.
A little land hate never hurt anyone, except for the person whose land you're hating.
Yeah.
But Field of the Ruin is a really good group hug card, too. Like, you make some friends because everyone gets a basic land. You get a basic land to replace yours, they replace theirs, and the other two people just kind of get a participation trophy land.
Yeah, like, thanks for being there.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, guys, come on. I dealt with it. I ramped the table. Who am I to say who the bad guy is here?
Yeah.
Love it. Guy's Cradle sometimes got to go. I also really like your next one.
Integrity and Intervention. So Integrity is a split card. So Integrity is either a red or a white. It's hybrid. Instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 to end a turn. Makes a 4/4 golem as well. Or Intervention. 2 red, white. Intervention deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. It's just a nice little modem.
I miss when you could put these under Isochron Scepter.
Yeah, no longer the case.
Yeah, now split cards CMC is the total cost and not one of them. Goodbye being able to cast that for 2 mana. Man, Isochron Scepter, I miss that card being able to be better. As if it's not good enough already.
Well, yeah.
I really like this one.
It's not like it's got worse. It's just some cards can't go under it.
It got worse. Intimidation Bolt is another cool card. It's 1 Boros. Intimidation Bolt deals 3 damage to target creature, so good spot removal. Other creatures can't attack this turn. Good. Hey, I don't want to die, so are we cool?
Yeah. Or someone's going to swing out. You can see they're going to create a hoof or whatever. Just
this in response to Crater Hoof, hilarious.
Yep. Can't attack with any of that stuff.
Not today. Put that Crater Hoof back where it goes. I also love Justice Strike. You've got tons of cool cards. Justice Strike was a really, really cool card. Target creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. Indestructible Blightsteel Colossus. Nah, son.
Yep. Take those minus counters.
Justice Strike is rough. I love Justice Strike, to be honest. It's so good.
Yeah. And Lightning Helix, the next one. One red, 1 white. 3 damage to any target. Gain 3 life. Make a 4/4. I'm going to say make a 4/4 because that's what it's basically doing.
Yeah, honestly, you should run Firesong and Sunspeaker with this amount of life gain and Bolt.
I was tempted.
I love Firesong and Sunspeaker. It's such a cool card.
It was so tempting to put it in, but it got cut.
Yeah, that's fair. It does enough, but not enough for your theme.
Yeah, I wanted to make the theme of the deck the commander and not make a sub-theme.
Well, like I said, I think that you did do a really good job with it. You've got Lorehold Command as another really cool new card. 3, 1 red, 1 white. Instant, choose 2. Love modes. Create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token on theme. Creatures you control get 1/0 and indestructible and haste on theme. 3 damage to any target. Target player gains 3 life. Again, it is on theme. And then sack a permanent, draw 2 cards. All of these are great modes. These are all fantastic. It's a great instant. It's the scroll Gatling gun artwork that everyone made jokes about. I love it.
Yep. And again, sack a golem, make a golem.
Yeah. Or anything. Like you make so many 1/1 soldiers and something like this, right?
Yeah. 1/1 soldiers. We have Outlaws Merriment, Muster the Legion.
Yeah, a ton. I love them. I really like the next card. The next card's a real problem.
Master Warcraft 2 and Hybrid Boros. Play it only before attackers are declared. You choose which creatures attack this turn. You choose how each creature blocks this turn.
Rough. It is a problem card. It is. Because you can kill an opponent with it. They can make a deal. Hey, yeah, let's kill Daniel, and then we'll go from there. I'm like, I'll kill you for your insolence with his creatures. Now what? Love Master Warcraft. Never scheme against me.
It's such a good card. And it's so cheap.
I don't like this card. I've never seen this card, and I don't like it.
Moonhold?
What's this about?
2 and a hybrid Boros. Target player can't play land cards this turn if red was spent to play it. And can't play creature cards this turn if white was spent to play it. Do both if both was paid. That's
disgusting. I just am in the midst of reworking, what is his name? Windgrace. And I've got the Nahiri's Lithoforming where I sack X cards and I can play X lands.
Yep.
I would be furious if I Nahiri's lithoforming and then I sack like 10 lands so that I can just play them from my graveyard with my Crucible of Worlds. And you're like, oh, target player can't play lands. I would probably leave for the day. That would probably infuriate me to a point of no return.
I mean, there's so many decks that just dump lands on the field. I was like, nah.
For anyone who's listened to this podcast for more than 5 minutes, you know that I love Landfall. I would lose my mind if somebody played something like this against me.
Do you want to know a secret?
Oh, I have so many cards.
You're the reason it's in.
I have so many decks that just care about dumping lands in. Like I got Azusa decks, I got AC decks, Tatiova decks. I'd lose my mind. This is a great card. This is a really cool card.
Yeah, and I've never seen it been played, and I was like, I think this is the deck for this.
Target player can't play lands this turn. You know how rough that is, especially if someone is sitting there and they're in their draw step. This is me. I announce everything so well. I'm like, come on, land. I'm like, yes. And then you're like, in your draw step, Moonhold. No.
Well, it's just funny. Like, someone's like, I don't know. I'm going to Kadama's Reach and get some lands to my hand.
Oh, man, this is a cool card. I think it'd be really fun to host people with this. I'm people. But,
yep.
Yeah, it would be. I really, really like that card. Target player can't play lands this turn and can't play creatures. Again, it's the same thing. If you, the new Gaia's Will Gaia's Will. I was going to say Gaia's Will.
Yeah,
green.
The suspend.
They finally get it off and they can replay their deck out like it's someone like Zach who likes to play from the grave. He's ready to go off and you can't play any creatures as a spell. Have fun.
Yeah. Nice Gaia's Will.
I really, really like Moonhold. That's a cool card. I'm going to write that one down. The next card, would this be a multicolor card?
No, you choose which side.
Okay, so you only cast one.
You
have Order and Chaos.
It was just too good not to do.
Creatures can't block this turn. Ooh, that is chaos.
Yeah.
Or exile target attacking creature. Great answer, great response.
It's just a good card for the Boros Legion to have.
Yeah, I agree. I really like that one. Not as much as I like Moonhold, though. Moonhold takes the cake for this one. This one was actually pretty fun. You said that this one was going to go up in price, another reserve list card. And it did recently really spike in price. Like, aggressively. It was like 30 cents. Reflect damage.
Yeah, reflect damage. 3 red, white. And it's just a redirect all damage to another player. So it's just... I've already forgotten the name of the card.
Deflecting Palm.
It's a Deflecting Palm. Yes, it's 3 extra mana, but having 2 in the deck, it's just good.
I like that. I also like the next one, Response Resurgence. Response is 5 damage to target attacking or blocking creature at 2 mana, and again, when you're trying to trigger it with a golem, that makes it much better. And then Resurgence, creatures you control gain first strike and vigilance until end of turn. After this main phase, you get another combat phase, followed by an additional main phase. A great card.
Yeah, and make a golem.
Very aggressive.
Yeah, a lot of ways to just beat people with our golems, basically.
I also like Ride Down. Very cool. 2 mana instant, so it's Boros. Destroy target blocking creature. Creatures that were blocked by that creature gain trample until end of turn. I love it.
Yeah, so we kill the creature that blocked us and then trample over, regardless.
The next one's actually pretty cool. Artifact removal as well. You take the next one, Lotus.
Yeah, Shattering Blow. 1 hybrid Boros. Exile target artifact. Sometimes you just gotta exile something.
I really like the flavor text. You read that flavor text for me.
Aurelia seems too eager to solve her problems by delivering them to oblivion. Prime Speaker Xanaga.
Aurelia seems like she knows what's up.
Yeah.
You've got cool Teferi's Protection. I do like that artwork. It is really cool.
I pulled that in my Fat Pack box, so that's why that artwork's there. The Mystical Archive, not Japanese one, sadly. It's just cool. I really like these alternate arts.
I'm not super into the Japanese ones, to be honest. Their artworks are cool, but...
I can't read it.
Yeah, I don't read Japanese, so unless I can memorize the artwork, and I can't. I have too many cards in my brain. Like I've said the last few episodes, there's no room for new information here. This is it. This is all I'm knowing forever.
Yep.
So, there's a lot. War Flares, very cool. Creatures you control get 2/1 until end of turn, untap them. Very good to A, run the train on the table for swing out, or B, somebody sees that you attack and they're like, oh, I can finally get Lotus. She's got no creatures. Wrong. She has terrifying creatures now.
Yep, they're untapped.
There's some aggressive flavor text in these. No sun or fire can warm my blood quite like a War Flare.
Nice.
And then we have War Leader's Helix. Obviously, it's in a deck like this, you need to run all of these ones. It's 2, 1 red, 1 white, 4 damage to any target, and you gain 4 life. Very simple, elegant.
Very, very simple, but effective, and all of them will make your 4/4s.
Yeah. Do you have any notable lands?
So, lands, I have 2, maybe 3.
Okay.
So the biggest notable is Guild Mage's Forum. It taps for a colorless, but you can pay 1 and tap it to add 1 mana of any color. If that mana was spent on a multicolored creature spell, that creature enters with additional +1 counter.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, give an extra counter.
Pump some of your stuff when you've got extra mana sitting around.
Yeah, why not? Slayer's Stronghold, give thing +2/+0 and vigilance and haste. So play something big and scary and give it haste straight away.
Yeah, I actually really like Slayer's Stronghold. I also really, really like your last one. You take that one away.
Sunhome Fortress of the Legion. Taps for a colorless, but pay 2 red and white. Target creature gains double strike till end of turn. Not just ours, anyone's.
I am playing Magic in probably an hour after we're done recording.
Yeah.
I have this in Oboon, and it's one of my favorite cards because nobody pays attention to it. But in Oboon, it's an animate lands deck, and I animate Inkmoth Nexus all the time, and then give it double strike because I'm a bad person.
Yep.
I love Sunhome Fortress of the Legion, and nobody pays attention to what it does. They're like, okay. Taps for colorless.
Just a boros card.
Yeah. Oh, man, I love Oboon. I got to play that deck today, too.
I've seen someone attack with their commander, and I've just given it double strike and killed someone.
Well, yeah, because like you said, right, it doesn't have to be just yours. Somebody can be like, oh, yeah, I just want to draw some cards. Can I hit you for 5? And you're like, okay. I'm playing like something like Xerus, and I want to just let me hit you for 3, and I'm low life, and you're like, oh, well, I guess I'll draw, and you double it up. No.
Yep.
A lot of your cards actually do that. The target creature gaining double strike instant as well. That is funny.
Yeah.
Not target creature you control. Do you want to quickly go over any strengths and weaknesses of the deck? Strengths, I think it is very fun, thematic, and I think you're going to really, really utilize your commander.
Yeah, the biggest thing is I'm a big advocate for tokens because 99 cards in a commander is not enough cards. I'd like to have more. So tokens is the way to go. It does suffer a lot. I believe there's not too much card draw, so we are in the hands of trying to pull what card draw we've got. And protection from board wipes is another issue. But I think if we're constantly attacking and being on the aggressive with our 4/4s, it can be a real problem.
I like it a lot, to be honest. I think that just overall, it looks like a fun deck to play. You're obviously not going to turn to the table with a deck like this, but you will have fun, and you'll make a lot of golems.
Yeah, it's definitely a mid-level deck. It's nothing like a powerhouse to go against like Urza or something along those lines. But if you're there for a casual game, this seems to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you're there for a good time, I think you will have that.
I'll let you know when I built it. I'm only about 5 cards off.
I do really want to see it. It looks really, really fun to play.
Yeah, I'm literally just waiting for the post to arrive. And then hopefully this Tuesday, my LGS is doing Commander Night. So I get to play this then.
We're back to open for Friday nights, and that's what I'm doing every Friday night.
Nice. What I'll do is once I've built it for Tuesday, I'll post on our Instagram how it went.
Yeah, I'd actually really like to play against it, so hopefully we can at least get a game in online with it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I can proxy up the cards and we can go later.
I would probably be fine with that, to be honest. But yeah, no, yeah. I think that, like I said, I think that you built a strong deck with a commander that I haven't seen anyone else build yet.
No, I do this every time. It was with Toski. I built Toski when everyone was building the big power decks. I find the deck that people don't love and give it a home.
Man, those golems look cool in his artwork. It's a very cool looking card. I think that I do want to build something like that because, again, I love Boros. And Boros generally isn't too expensive.
No, I think, well, the whole deck is 210 euros. So
for
what's
people,
that?
Yeah, for people not paying in bags of tea, that's $400.
Yeah.
But again, you have an Arid Mesa and stuff. That's some of the price there. You have your land tax, your Archaeomancer's map. A lot of them bring the price. Oh, Anointed Procession needs a reprint very badly.
Smothering Tithe.
That also needs a reprint. I think that they are going to ban Smothering Tithe soon.
Yeah.
Just too good. I think Smothering Tithe and Hull Breacher is on the chopping block.
We shall see.
I hope not. I don't like Hull Breacher at all, but
I don't actually see it that much in my meta.
Hull Breacher's not horrible. It
wasn't as scary as it was made out.
I play it in Galazeth. I don't think it's that bad. It can be a problem, but like if you're playing wheels and stuff, but so can Narset. So can lots of things, like there's lots of players can't draw cards abilities. It just is what it is.
There's a lot of cards out there that are just horrible, but
exactly. Knowledge Pool exists. Build a deck with Knowledge Pool like my brother. Be an animal.
And Teferi. So only you can cast from it.
Oh, I cannot stand Knowledge Pool. I've played against it so many times. That and I'm just done with Time Sifter. Oh man. Time Sifter wrecks my games. Connor, you know who you are as a person.
It's like I recently saw that Thassa's Oracle was like, oh, this needs to be banned. It's like, just run shuffle effects.
That or just anything that like target player draws a card. It's really funny to see people like mill their whole deck out and then just be like, draw a card.
Yeah, draw one card while it's on the stack.
Yeah, before you win, draw a card. Temple Bell. So you die in response and we continue the game. Thanks.
Yeah. Or Stifle. Just get rid of the trigger.
Stifle's such a good card. People don't play Stifle enough.
Yeah, someone stifled my turn 1 fetch once. That was awful.
What kind of bad people are you playing against? That's brutal. I'd be so mad about that.
That was funny.
I know that I've told this story before, but somebody, what was it? It was Force of Will and then Foil. Something, yeah, it might not have been Foil. I know it was 2 of the 0 mana counters. And somebody went first. They were trying to play Marwyn, and they played a Soul Ring, and it got Force of Willed. And then they tried to play a Mana Crypt, and somebody else like Force of Willed or did something to it, like that. Maybe Force of Negation. Yes, yeah. Force of Will and Force of Negation. Those were the 2. All I know is that person picked their cards up. They didn't say goodbye to anyone. They picked their cards up off the table. I've never played with them since. I've never seen them at the game store since. Never heard from them since. I don't know if they're alive.
Wow.
All I know is that was the angriest I've ever seen anyone. I've seen people like yell at the game and stuff like that, but this was just, it broke their brain rage. They just packed up and went home. Never came back. I've
done that to someone during a legacy tournament. They were playing Dark Depth combo. And I was playing goblins. And for some reason, unknown to why, I had a Kikijiki on board, but an Ether Vial on 5. No, the Kikijiki was in my hand, and I had the Ether Vial on 5. But I played, when they went to copy it to make the token, I played Goblin Settler, which when it enters, destroy a land. So they went to copy it again with their second copy. I then flashed in Kikijiki, made a copy of Goblin Settler, and blew it up again. I've never seen someone rage crit.
That's a good one. I've seen some rage quits. I've been a part of a few rage quits in my day. But like I said, they were playing Marwyn, and you would think in an elf deck, that's not a problem. Lose some mana, boo-hoo. Nope, they kept a 1 mana hand that had nothing else good in it because they thought that they were going to be able to go off with Marwyn.
Yeah, but even with elves, you don't want those sort of mana rocks just because it's colorless.
No, they were trying to get the turn 1 Marwyn out so that they could get all of their elves out following and like pump it, but then they couldn't get Marwyn out and do anything. Like it just crippled the deck.
That's sad.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was a pretty good time. I enjoyed watching it. But yeah, no, I can rant about salty players for so long. Lotus, do you want to tell everyone where they can find our stuff?
Of course. So if you liked this and want to see more, go to intothe99.com. It's our one-stop shop for more articles, our podcasts, and links to our YouTube channel where you can see more of me doing Brewing It Live with occasional Dan. And that is every Saturday, 4 p.m. EST, 2 p.m. MST, 8 p.m. GMT. If you'd like to support us in a more financial way, visit our merch store for some cool shirts, and also our Patreon, where there's a few tiers that you can sponsor us on.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening, and as always, we'll catch you next time.
Have a good one, and stay safe when we reopen.
Yeah, absolutely. And have fun playing in your game stores. I had such a good time. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.